So, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. It took us a while to get to this one.
It did, but we're finally here.
Yeah, one of the big things that we've always talked about is just how different the feeling is from this, or of this from the original.
It's very, very different, I feel, and I can't imagine many people don't feel that. The first one is kind of in his hometown, wherever he lives in Florida. And this one's just all the way across the pond.
Yeah.
One of the differences about the two movies is that Jim's Ace is, kind of the same, but very different. Mm-hmm. Very different from the two movies.
Maybe doing like an imitation of the first movie.
Yeah.
So there's just that little bit of a difference.
Just building off it. I mean, yeah, it's a step further. It's like, yeah, the first one, it's, he's kind of still coming up with stuff and perfecting the role. And then the second one, he's definitely got it more down, but it's definitely different.
Yeah.
He just speaks differently. Mm-hmm. It's not quite an accent, but it's just his sentences are structured very different than the first one.
They are. Like, he's definitely got the elongated speech, where he's like, "For I am sorely needed."
So he enunciates.
And his voice is a little bit different, too.
Yeah. It's definitely, more gimmicky, cartoony.
But the one thing that I do like about it over the first one is the hair is a lot taller.
Oh, it's much more defined, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's great.
So it's interesting, too. Like, this is one of those few sequels where you don't actually have to see the original at all to understand what's going on. It's kind of like Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Where it just can stand alone all by itself.
You don't know if it's a prequel or a sequel. I mean, you're
Yeah.
pretty sure the second one comes after the first one, but there's nothing definitive. The only thing tying these two movies together is Ace.
That's it.
That's it, yeah.
It would have been kind of cool if Courtney Cox at least was, like, her character was mentioned at,
Even just mentioned, yeah.
Yeah, just mentioned because, like, they ended the first movie like they were gonna start something and all
Happily
that
ever
stuff.
after.
Yeah.
One other comparison is that the first film kind of has a little more darker tone to it. Not much, but it's there.
Yeah.
You get to see more in depth to Jim Carrey's character, like more serious moments. Whereas the second one is just about the jokes.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason for that is the animated series had come out. There's that appeal to kids into play now.
Yeah, I mean they do still have some adult humor, but it will definitely go over kids' heads.
Yeah, I saw it as a young kid, and a lot of that stuff, went completely over my head. Like,
yeah, like he's in the hut meditating.
yeah.
I didn't know what he was doing. I thought he was taking a crap. And it wasn't until I got older that I'm like, oh. Naughty Ace.
That is one of the few times where you do get to see him, like, have some true character depth. Not the hut scene, but with the princess. He does show a little bit of his real side, because we've touched base on that a little bit with Pet Detective. There were a few of those moments sprinkled in there. Even so, the scene with the princess is still played off of the jokes mostly, so...
Yeah, because, I mean, it's mostly about her confiding in him, her being serious.
Yeah.
And then it just, leads into more jokes. Mm-hmm. Mr. Ace, I'm going to be celibate. Yeah, right. There is a little bit of depth with, Ace is so, like, fearless and badass, and he just, he worms his way out of some impossible situations, which he still does. Mm-hmm. But they do show a little bit of depth with, a fear of his.
Yeah.
And that's bats. Mm-hmm. And you have no idea until they're at the caves and, oh, we're at the sacred caves. And he's like, what? A bat?
You didn't say anything about a bat.
And, I mean, even being an animal lover, you would like, oh, there's an animal that he fears and loathes. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool that, he's got still a real guy in there, with real fears.
Yeah, and he still very reluctantly takes the case.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he wouldn't have touched the bat if it didn't, come down to two tribes slaughtering each other. No.
That'd be like us in his shoes. The sacred spider. Would you take it? No.
No. Not gonna touch it with a 10-foot pole.
I'd be like, let the tribes kill each other. Speaking of spiders, we gotta do Arachnophobia someday.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
You can see, be the Jeff Daniels, Jim Carrey cross, or we could do Dumb and Dumber, and then we could do Arachnophobia.
I'll just go like this the whole time.
But one of the things that does carry over is his disguises, they still suck.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, he's pale white guy amongst black monkeys. But that's not obvious at all.
No. And we get to the part where he is parasailing behind the Jeep, and it's just zebra stripes. He's got a bright blue Hawaiian shirt on. It's like, how would you not notice this?
Yeah, there's just no way.
Or when he's intervening with the Wachutu Indian tribe's like celebration, like
He is clearly not a part of that tribe.
like
Especially when he's...
right.
Yeah, I'm sure they do that on a daily basis.
Well, they do, just somewhere else.
In regards to favorite scenes, I would say that mine is definitely the rhino scene.
Oh, for sure.
It's just it's over the top, it's extreme, it's hilarious, and it just begins with... And then it ends with... And I can't get over it. It never gets old. I would have the reaction of the little boy. Cool!
Right.
That would be me.
Oh, and did you know that, again, we did this for Pet Detective. We may as well do it here. Did you know there's deleted footage after that they did show on TV, but it's not in the movie?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing much. It's just basically just him standing up in front of the people going, "Man, was I lost!"
Ooh.
Woo!
Wow, I wish I could see that.
You can.
Man, was I lost! Woo!
So what is your favorite scene from the movie?
Well, in regards to my favorite scenes, I did put together the Impressionistic Jared episode. I decided to kind of highlight on my favorite scenes, so if you really want to know exactly what my favorite stuff was, just go watch that.
I would say that, yeah, the ones from Impressionistic are the more favorite scenes for me as well. I mean, there's just too many good, funny moments to choose from. Mm-hmm. Wunderbar! He exclaimed with great relish.
So in closing, anything else to add to this?
I would say that this one is definitely the one I'm more familiar with. Mm-hmm. You know, I watched it more growing up. This one's definitely like the bread and butter of the two for me. You know.
And we've got the exact opposite opinion. Of course, I love them both, but I do favor the first one just a little bit. I think it is because of those dark undertones.
Do you have anything more to add?
No.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
Fine. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up.
Or if you like, just give it a thumbs down.
And a thumbs up. And you can tell them to just subscribe.
There's a little button thing. Maybe it's right about here.
This area. Go ahead and hit that.
This channel is an ace in the hole, isn't it?
It is.
Is it?
I think you aced that question.
My dear, I think we've had enough of you.